Welcome back, everybody. It's Talking Sports here on ABC 3340. Big day at Birmingham Greyhound Racing. Gates are open now. The parlay card contest. You can get in on all the action of the Final Four. Baseball is underway. Your Orioles sizzling.
What about it, ladies and gentlemen? Miracles still happen. Yes, miracles still happen. The Orioles are 4-1. Can you believe it? This is like that Major League movie, Kip.
Oh, it's great. I would have loved to have been in the stands Saturday and Sunday at Yankee Stadium and hear all them grumbling with their $800 million team.
We don't lose to the Orioles. Last year, Baltimore beat you 9 times, and that's why the Red Sox won the division.
I just can't imagine the Yankee fans.
We own you.
It's great. All right, let's talk about the Final Four, and we've been touching on Auburn, of course. They're the big story. They're the SEC team in the dance, and they are on a remarkable run now. I was most impressed in the Kentucky win by the fact that, you know, against Kansas and North Carolina, they played their style, which those teams wanted to play too. And it was like, you know, those teams brought a penknife to a AK-47 festival. Auburn just destroyed both those teams at their own game. Kentucky slowed it down, made it methodical, a half-court kind of grinded-out game. Okeke, who is arguably the most valuable player on the Auburn team during the year, out for the year now with an ACL injury in the North Carolina game. But I was so impressed, Legend, that they could play that kind of grinded-out half-court style of play. That tells you what a high level this Auburn team is playing at. And so many props. You mentioned Bruce Pearl, Jared Harper, all these kids. Auburn has this is a phenomenal run. It's just it's a great thing to see, because only once ever in NCAA tournament history has a team on a run knocked off North Carolina, Kansas, and Kentucky in the same tournament.
Yeah, I'm just brokenhearted. I mean, the first team in the state of Alabama to make the Final Four. What's up, Alabama basketball?
New coach. Maybe things are going to start happening. Coach Oates is there and on the job. Auburn matches up with Virginia. Now, Virginia is the only #1 seed that has made the Final Four. Their coach, Tony Bennett, who had a hit with I Left My Heart in San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Oh, that's probably not the same Tony Bennett.
No,
but
probably not. Anyway,
Anyway, Tony Bennett has gotten his team there. Remember what happened to them last year? They're the only #1 team to ever lose in the first round to a 16 when Maryland, Baltimore County sent them home. And after that embarrassment, they've made the Final Four. So props to the Cavaliers. This is going to be an interesting game. Auburn wants to get out and run and play at breakneck speed. Virginia is a defensive juggernaut, has statistically one of the best defensive teams in the country. It's a matchup of styles. Does Auburn keep it going?
I think they do. I noticed they were a 5-point underdog. Is that correct? Is that what you've been seeing?
Yes.
And I really love the 5 points in Auburn. I think Auburn wins this game straight up. Take Auburn on the money line. It is still March. It is still all about the guards. And the one thing about Virginia, if you get into the 70s, you got Virginia in real trouble, and you would really have to put Auburn on. I mean, a lot of people would have to have a bad night for Auburn not to get 70 points. It ought to be a great game, though. It's, like you said, two totally different contrasts here.
Well, in the NCAA tournament, we talked about it before. Purdue had a man, 82% free throw shooter with 6 seconds left at the line that could have put the Boilermakers up 4. Guess what?
Klein.
No good. Clank. And Virginia goes down and miraculously ties the game.
What a game.
Yeah, and goes to overtime. So once again, the road to the Final Four and an ultimate championship, there's so many highs and lows. I mean, it's a sporting event that's really unlike any other.
Yeah, we ought to touch on some of the other SEC teams. I think Tennessee missed a giant window, and now they're going to lose the Admiral. They're going to lose Grant Williams. I mean, that was a giant window right there for Rick Barnes. I mean, that really hurts. And the LSU program that done so good this year, I think they're fixing to be in disarray due to the chaos going on down there.
Yeah, definitely.
So a big tournament for the SEC, and Auburn's the only team standing. Can you do it, Auburn? Is it in your DNA? Can you bring it through? I don't think so.
Tennessee gets knocked out, fouling a 3-point shooter, falling out of bounds with a 2-point lead.
I mean,
it's unbelievable how teams find a way to win and find a way to lose these games.
Yes.
And that's what makes this such a dramatic, great event. The other game, Michigan State is in the Final Four. They were the #2 seed in the East. They are taking on another team like Auburn that has never been to the big dance before. The Texas Tech Red Raiders, their coach Beard has done a remarkable job there after Bobby and his son Pat Knight were at Texas Tech. And I guess arguably you could say they infused some enthusiasm in the program, but they really didn't take them very far. Coach Beard is in the Final Four, and he's got a big test with Tom Izzo and the Spartans.
Yeah, I like Michigan State here giving up the 3 points, Kip. I really think Michigan State is the best team in this tournament, has been since the beginning. Hey, they proved it against Duke. If you can go up against Duke and beat that Duke team the way they did, pressure busts a pipe. Great teams handle pressure. This Michigan State team handles pressure. I got Auburn, Michigan State in the final, Kip. I got Michigan State raising the trophy. Auburn coming up short Monday night.
It's going to be great. Can't wait to watch it. I have a quick rant, then we got to go to break.
Rant? Let it go!
The NCAA Selection Committee. Yeah. Okay, they pick the 64 teams, but they do something, in my mind, far more important. They seed the tournament. Now, on the NCAA Selection Show, they said Michigan State, who had just won their conference tournament, which absolutely means nothing. This committee just goes by body of work. So the conference tournaments are completely worthless. They don't look at those at all. Auburn won the SEC tournament, blew Tennessee out by 20 points, and there were 3 spots below them in the seedings.
Yes.
So they do a terrible job on seeding, but here's really a sad deal. You can't tell me, after watching the Duke-Michigan State game, that these are not 2 of the best 4 teams in the country, and they're in the same region. The guy was saying, the head of the committee, well, Michigan State missed by an eyelash of being a number 1 seed. Well, how in the world are they playing the number 1 overall seed in their region? They should play the last team that got that designation, which is Gonzaga. It makes no sense. And come on, guys, get it together, because this might seem like a small detail, but this is a major deal.
Yes, it is, Kip, because Michigan State and Duke, as you said, was clearly 2 teams that could have met in the finals just as easy as they did where they were at.
That's right.
And when you look at this Michigan State team, if you look at it and know basketball, it was clear they was a number 1 seed and not a number 2 seed.
We got lots of horse racing. The drama is continuing. We're 1 month away from the Kentucky Derby.
Yes.
We will have all that for you right when we come back.